Part. But before you begin sketching to create feature geometry, it's important to consider both where you begin and your design intent. Deciding where to begin can be pretty straightforward. For example, the majority of this part extends straight out from a surface in a single direction, so a solid extrude would probably be the best way to begin. The remaining features are then built upon the base extrusion. In this example, the majority of the part consists of a cylindrical profile, so a swept feature would be a good way to begin. In this third example, the majority of the part can be created using an extrusion, but because it's circular, a revolve could also be used. Note the differences in the feature tree for these two models, even though the resultant geometry is identical. This successfully illustrates an important point. There's often more than one method you can use to model a part. What's most important is that you reach the end part you envision. How you get there is up to you. This brings me to design intent. Think of design intent as defining a part's behavior. In other words, how would you like the part to function if changes were made to it? Looking back at the prior example, the hole through its center is created using a cut extrude, with a blind end condition of 15 millimeters. But what if the overall thickness of the part was increased? The hole would no longer extend through the entire part. Changing the hole's end condition to through all will ensure that the hole extends through the entire part, regardless of its thickness. This is an example of considering design intent. Another portion of this model where you might consider design intent is for the 3 bolt holes. What if it's decided later on that a different bolt size is needed? As this sketch is defined now, you'd have to update the dimension for each hole instance to make the update. And if you accidentally miss one, it could result in costly errors down the road. Applying an equal relation between the 3 holes would make the bolt change more efficient, allowing you to resize all holes with a single dimension. So remember to spend a little time before you begin modeling your parts to think about how they should begin and what design intent should be built into them. In the next lesson, we'll take a look at the SOLIDWORKS view orientations.